Congressman Benny Thompson recently announced a major grant for MDOT, which will improve pedestrian safety here in the capital city. 3 United's Nathan Lee joins us with new information. Nathan?
Well, Howard, MDOT says since 2019, 18 people have died crossing Interstate I-55 in North Jackson. Now, this nearly $20 million grant will help improve pedestrian mobility and safety on I-55 frontage roads and much more to try and limit deaths in the future.
This was in coordination with the City of Jackson and Hinds County and other entities around the area that was looking to address one of the issues that we have on the interstate in North Jackson, and that is fatalities with pedestrians trying to cross the interstate and getting hit.
MDOT Executive Director Brad White was happy to receive federal funding to tackle this issue of deaths with people walking along and across I-55. Congressman Benny Thompson announced last week that the U.S. Department of Transportation awarded a nearly $20 million local and regional project assistance grant to MDOT, which will fund critical pedestrian mobility and safety improvements along the I-55 corridor. White lets you know of some of those improvements.
We'll be able to put fencing up down the middle of the interstate between the north and southbound lanes. We'll be able to build crossings over the interstate at County Line Road and Briarwood, and then under the interstate at Canton Mart Street, and then again at Northside Drive. We'll have islands in the middle that allow people to get across safely. We'll have sidewalks on the west and east sides of the frontage roads on I-55.
Other improvements include marked pedestrian crossings, safety signage, crossing push buttons and displays, and improved lighting. One gas station owner right off of West Frontage Road was also very happy with this news. He says it will make his customers safer.
We appreciate the government that they're going to improve this side of the city, especially the frontage road. It was very low safety earlier. That was not good for health and safety. But we are happy that the government took notice for this and they're going to improve this.
White also made it clear that this grant is specifically to improve safety for pedestrians, and it will not be used to construct new roads or bridges in the capital city. Now, since this project is still in the very early stages, a timeline right now is not in place, but officials say once they receive the funds, they will begin the design phase to get construction started as soon as possible. Nathan Lee, 3 on your side.